Hey everyone, this is Ian with AlphaCars and Motorcycles. Today I've got a very cool Mercedes to share with you. This is a 2016 Mercedes G550 Designo, or as we all know it, the Mercedes G-Wagon. So this video we're going to be going over the general condition, checking out the interior, the engine compartment, even there'll be a segment showing the underbody as this is a southern vehicle. So it's a very impressively clean underbody that we've also done a rust preventative treatment on. So more on that later. But now let's dive into this G-Wagon. First, while we admire the gorgeous exterior, I'll talk a little bit about the history. This Mercedes, it was originally sold in Ohio at the very end of 2016, but then it moved to Texas within a year later, and that's where it remained all of its life until we at AlphaCars acquired it. So as I mentioned in the first part of this video, the underbody is extremely clean and in awesome condition, so stay tuned for the end of this video where we'll get to see that. So this is polar white, and I love the contrast with these AMG style wheels. They're kind of like a gunmetal gray. It's one of my favorite kind of color combos you could put on a vehicle. And this does have the Designo auburn brown perforated Napa leather on the inside, which we'll get to look at that very shortly. But once again, an awesome color contrast. So talking more about the exterior, it is all original paint on the metal surfaces. We do have paint depth readings on our listing. So we have a sophisticated meter that checks the paint depth so we can see if there is any reconditioning done or paint work done. And everything on this is original on the metal surfaces, and it's in very nice shape. And we did just take a quick look at the wheels, but behind those gorgeous wheels, we have brakes that are new. The pads are brand new and the rotors have seen very little use. We can see they're a nice clean surface, not grooved up or anything. And we can see as well the calipers and just all the components. We can see the top hat, I believe it's called, of the rotor. All that is rust-free, which normally in New England within a year all that begins to corrode. So once again, just very impressive and very clean. And the tires are all front and rear. They're at 90% material remaining, as I'll show you right here. And these are some very nice Pirelli all seasons. So great grip in the summer months and good grip in the winter months. Now let's get into the interior. I'm going to start at the cargo area in the rear and work my way to the front. And now at the rear of the vehicle, let's use this very satisfying handle. I love the sound the doors make on these cars. You really got to shut them firmly because the latch is very robust and very heavy duty. So checking out this leather inlay in the rear door. Plenty of space, whether you have a pet or just cargo to cart around. Very practical. We have the original toolkit. There is a outlet back here as well. So all very exciting. We do have this all-season floor mat as well. And the nice Mercedes-Benz inscription right there. So now let's make our way into the second row. Check out this auburn brown leather. I love this shade. These seats are crazy comfortable. And just look at the condition as well. I'll just slowly move the camera for you to take a look. And the condition of the carpets. We have a protective plastic down, so it's factory fresh for the next owner. And we have some rear climate control as well, some vents, an outlet, and we have cup holders. So we know those are a must in any American vehicle. And we have, or I should say, vehicle sold in America. But we have rear heated seats as well. Another really, really cool option, or feature I should say, because I believe that's standard. You see that lovely V8 badge. We'll get to that in just a minute here. Opening our door, now we can see this perforated leather. Before I get in here, we can see the condition, that Designo badge. See the passenger seat condition. See there's no damage or unusual points of wear. Same thing with our driver's door card, and even look at the door jambs, even underneath the doors. Look at the hinges, the wiring loom, grommet. Everything is just in very nice shape. It's very clear that this Mercedes was very well taken care of, and it is shown by the clean Carfax as well. It was regularly maintained. So now another feature I really like on German cars in general that still have it, we see these under-seat compartments. So there's one on the driver's seat as well. This is the passenger seat. But they're these little cubbies, or on my Volkswagen, it's a drawer. Just a very cool place to keep, valuable items or just random items that don't really have anywhere else to go. I like keeping like a keys and wallet in there. And if someone was, to maybe look for valuable things in your car, they probably don't know that's there. So I really like that. I've always liked that. But unfortunately, a lot of German vehicles that come to the US, features like that, unfortunately don't always make it over here. But those are here in this G-Wagon for you to enjoy. So let me start this up. Starts pretty much instantly. It's that 4-liter bi-turbo V8, which we will talk about that in just a few minutes when we check out the engine compartment. This does have the heated steering wheel option. That is amazing in the winter months while you're waiting for the engine to warm up, for the heat to kick on. Cranking that heated seat, which is right here and works beautifully, and putting on that heated steering wheel, it really just takes the edge off. And even when the vehicle's warmed up, it's still very nice. To turn on the heated steering wheel, there's sort of a hidden control back here. It's right here. If the camera will focus on that. You just twist this forward, and that turns on your heated steering wheel. This also is the control to raise and lower the steering wheel as well. So that works very good. Same thing, we have ventilated seats, which you may be able to hear that. Those work awesome. And of course, all the heated seats. We've got our diff locks here, our front, center, and rear. Of course, you're used to that being on the G-Wagons. And a button you're not probably used to seeing on a G550, if I get this to focus here, is right here, Sport and Comfort, and there's a shock on there. So this has a very rare option. It's the adjustable dampers. So default is in Comfort, but if you press this and go into Sport, it firms up those dampers or the shocks of the vehicle, giving you a firmer ride, but then it's more controlled with less body roll for a sportier drive, depending on the type of driving you are doing. So that is a very notable mention. And something cool to know about them as well, not only the benefit of the manual adjustability, but they will adjust themselves automatically in like a panic driving situation. So, you swerve hard all of a sudden and the vehicle's like stability control kicks in. It will actually firm up the shocks when needed, when it feels it needs to help you or help the vehicle stay in control. So that's just another kind of cool benefit of that as well. Taking a look in the glove box, this is where we have our couple little spots for cup holders in the front of the vehicle. And we have our original owner's manual and the nice leather pouch there. And speaking of cup holders, we do have another one right here that flips up. It almost looks like you could play a basketball game in here. It looks like a basketball hoop, but I kind of like that. I think it's cool, and I think it's cool how it folds away as well. And of course, very heavy duty. You really gotta put a little bit of force into it, but that's kind of how you want it. So then it stays up and upright when you have a drink in there. Also, we have a 12-volt outlet down here. I think that location's cool, so then your passenger can plug in, charge their phone, do what they need, and they're not interfering with maybe what you're doing over here. And let's take a look in our center console. Plenty of storage space. We have the Mercedes cord to the Apple Lightning connector, and there is a USB plug hidden in down there as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. Of course, dual zone climate control, auto climate control. This thing is so comfortable, and it's really just a great place to be. I really don't want to leave. It's a bit chilly out there today. But now let's talk about that engine and take a look in the engine compartment. Now we've got the hood open. We can check out this bi-turbo V8. 416 horsepower, 450 foot-pounds of torque. That puts this, very big vehicle, 0 to 60 less than 6 seconds, around a 14-second quarter mile, I believe. So this thing gets up and moves when you need it to. We can see those twin turbos right in the V of the engine. And even though there isn't, AMG badging on this, it is an AMG engine, AMG derived engine. So that is just something to know about as well. But just taking a look at the condition of everything, you can see the bolts on the hood. It's all untouched. So no witness marks, even on these fender bolts. Even original stickers on the core support. And all the hood insulation's in good shape as well. So, it hasn't been messed with, no accidents or any funny business. So now let's take a look at the underbody, and I'll hand it over to Dimitri to show us that.
We're in the reconditioning portion of the building. On my right, I have an awesome G63. This is not for sale, and we're doing some PPF, paint protection film, and some touch-up work. So we're doing some awesome reconditioning work. Behind me, I have the vehicle that you may be interested in. We're now going to look at the underbody, and we're going to start from the front and make our way towards the back. This is a southern vehicle. It had very little use here in New England, and by the looks of it, and you'll see it in a moment, it doesn't look like it's ever been in the true wintry elements. So let's check it out together. So now that we're in the front of the vehicle, we're actually going to go towards the back of the vehicle because I think it's going to give us a better view, better picture. And yes, so here's the rear. Actually, we're going to start from the very rear. Here's the rear bumper. Here's the gas protection skid plate. And look at the condition of this one. Again, we've seen plenty of the G-Class that been used in the wintry elements. They don't look like this. Look at the rear axle. Condition of rims. And of course, tires. We listed all the parameters in our vehicle listing page. I just added a little bit more light so you can see the details better. And now we can actually start our way towards the front of the vehicle. And as we do that, we will stop and pay special attention to these particular areas. And I want to point your attention to the frame rails, pretty much to everything, but the frame rails, the fuel lines, evap system lines, brake lines, they're all like new condition. And from the factory, this vehicle looks like it had the typical rust protective treatment, and then you can just tell that also there was an additional fresh coat of the amber coating that we applied that looks nice. And it actually, because it's a similar coating that is used by the factory, it mixes in, softens up the factory coating and penetrates right in. And because both coatings are somewhat transparent, they have a little bit of yellowish tint to it, but they're transparent so you can see what's happening underneath these coatings. So I'm just showing you more details. We're looking at the drivetrain. Actually, let's come back for a second. Here's the transfer case. You can see it right here, nice and dry. Again, you can see frame rails. Here's the transmission, all in very, very good condition. You can see all the service history details on our vehicle listing page on our website. Here's the front axle. Rims, you'd think they're new rims, but they're not. They're factory rims that came with this vehicle. They look like new. There's absolutely no rust, not a speckle of rust anywhere. Sometimes you have to settle for a little bit of surface rust, and which is fine. It wouldn't be a problem. But having absolutely no rust beats having a little bit of rust. It certainly beats having your typical rusty vehicle from New England. And this is very far from it. And it's very, very well protected, so that if you choose to use it here in New England, it is going to withstand these conditions so much better with all the protection. Here are the matching set of tires. This vehicle has factory original paint, as we already demonstrated to you when you saw this early in the video. But you can also see this paint and the condition of the body panels from this angled, beautiful AMG rims. For those of you that are not aware, 2016 is a really interesting year. It is the year when G-Class transitioned to a twin turbo V8, which is not heavily promoted, but technically it is an AMG, not even inspired. It's practically is an AMG engine. When we service these engines, like when you do any type of service work on the belts, you see a lot of parts that have AMG branding on them.
So now that you've learned all about this G-Wagon, this is available now at the date of this video. So, you know, even if you're watching this months or years in advance, so hello from 2023, just click the link in the description and you can see, I'm sure we'll have other G-Wagons or other stock current inventory you're interested in. We've always got very cool and unique vehicles coming in and out of our inventory that we're hand picking. So if there's anything I missed on this, any additional questions you have, feel free, give us a call, send us an email. We'd be happy to talk to you, as these vehicles are our specialty. So don't forget to subscribe. Don't miss out on the daily motoring content we try to give you. Leave a like on this video, show your support. We do see that, and we really appreciate that in all the viewers watching these videos. So this has been Ian reporting from our Boxborough location, and until next time.